Hello, my name is Alexis, aka Mermaid Krista, and welcome to my Mermaid Corner. Being a FinFun ambassador would be a dream come true. FinFun is by far my favorite tail brand that I've ever seen. They are affordable, the colors pop out of the tails, and they look so realistic in and out of the water. My first monofin before FinFun monofin was just two scuba flippers duct taped together. Shortly after that, my parents bought me a real monofin, which fell apart, as well as my first skin that I bought off of Etsy. In 7th grade, my friend introduced me to FinFun, and I knew that I was going to love them. My first tail was the Asian magenta tail, which I got for Christmas. Then, shortly after that, I bought the Rio red tail, which was well loved, as you can see by the holes. But now none of my tails have holes in them, because of all of the FinFun tip protectors. I have loved mermaids ever since I first saw The Little Mermaid, and once I was introduced to FinFun, I knew that I could really be one. I now own 12 FinFun tails, 3 monofins, and a FinFun carrying bag. FinFun is the best tails in the world, and I love the way that I feel when I wear them. Being a mermaid is the greatest feeling in the world. I feel like I am a magical creature that nobody's ever seen before, and I feel like I can do anything. And that's what I feel that every kid has the right to feel like. Every kid deserves to feel magical, like I do every time I put on a FinFun tail. I love to be in a tail, even if it's just sitting around the house like I'm doing now. My favorite part about being a mermaid is all of the kids that I meet. They all get so happy to see a real mermaid, which is why I have my whole backstory as Mermaid Krista. I tell them all of the stories about where I'm from, who my family is, and what powers I have. They all love to hear the stories, and I get to tell them anytime I go to a pool or a beach. My parents and I travel a lot, to a lot of different beaches, on cruises or just to go for fun. On every single beach that we go to, I am always wearing a tail. And all of the kids want to hang out with me, and they all want to swim with me, and they all want to hear stories about where I'm from. At one of these beaches that my family and I traveled to, I met a group of kids who loved to hear about my stories and loved to hang out with the mermaid. But there was this one girl who was super skeptical. But at the end of the day, I convinced her I was a real mermaid. While we were at this beach, I showed them my powers, which mainly consisted of me picking up sand and letting it flow out of my hands in the water and saying that that was magic. Throughout the day, this girl kept getting more and more skeptical if I was a real mermaid. She saw the slit at the bottom of my tail and was like, "No way is that real." But after a while, and her floating out into the water on a tube and me rescuing her, she was convinced I was real. During lunch, I had to take my tail off. Usually when this would happen, I would swim out into the water to my dad, take my tail off, give it to him, and walk out with legs, and tell all of the kids that it was magic. But this little skeptic girl would not let me out of her sight, because this was before I got to rescue her. So, I had to take off my tail in front of them, but the only way I could do that was by convincing them that I could transform into a human. So I told them that if I wished and I wished and I wished hard enough, I could take my tail off, and I did. Once I took my tail off, the little girl who was skeptical was still not convinced. So I had to walk and wobble on land like I was a fish out of water and that I couldn't walk, so they all had to hold me up. It was a great experience. At the end of the day, we all had to head back to our cruise ships, and they were not on our cruise, so I did not get to see them. But it was a great experience and one that I will always remember. After a day of hanging out with this group of girls, the parents asked me where I got my tails from, which is where I told them my whole pitch about FinFun and how amazing the tails were. And who knows, maybe that girl is now a mermaid too. Every single time I go to a pool or a beach, there are always people who ask me about FinFun, even when I'm just going around town to take new pictures for my Instagram account. There's always somebody who wants to know about FinFun or where I get my tails from, and I give them my pitch about what the safety features are, how they look underwater, and demonstrate how to swim in them. I feel that I would be a good FinFun ambassador because I am passionate about mermaids. I am always wearing something to do with mermaids, including this shirt, which I wear very often. I also know a lot about FinFun's products and what they stand for. I also have a large reach on social media, including Instagram and YouTube, and I am willing to post whatever I need to be an ambassador. Thank you so much for considering me in the 13 to 17 Southwest region age group, and I hope you vote for me, and I hope you pick me for your next FinFun ambassador.